A significant cybersecurity threat has emerged, prompting urgent action from authorities. The React2Shell vulnerability recently identified is being exploited on a large scale, raising alarms about its potential impact on numerous systems. On December 3, 2025, the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, alerted federal agencies to address this critical vulnerability, known as CV 2025-55182. It affects the React Server Components Protocol and several other frameworks, allowing attackers to execute malicious code on servers without requiring authentication. Following its public disclosure, reports indicate a surge in exploitation attempts, particularly targeting applications running on Next.js and other cloud services. In this video, we'll delve into the details of the React2Shell vulnerability, its implications, and the ongoing efforts to mitigate the threat. If you find this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals. Timeline of exploitation. Key events leading to the urgency. On December 3, 2025, the React2Shell vulnerability was publicly disclosed, quickly prompting widespread concern among cybersecurity experts. This vulnerability, identified as CV 2025-55182, received a critical CVSS score of 10.0 due to its severe implications for systems utilizing the React Server Components Flight Protocol. Just days after the disclosure, on December 10, CISA recorded a staggering 35,000 exploitation attempts in a single day, highlighting the rapid escalation of threat actor activity. This surge in attempts was characterized by a variety of malicious payloads, including cryptocurrency miners and botnet malware, indicating a shift towards opportunistic exploitation of the flaw. The urgency surrounding the React2Shell vulnerability was underscored by CISA's decision to revise the patch deadline from December 26 to December 12, reflecting the severe risk posed to federal agencies and beyond. The vulnerability's reach extends beyond React applications, affecting frameworks like Next.js, Waku, and Vite, which are prevalent in modern web development. Cloudflare's threat intelligence team noted that attackers were employing sophisticated reconnaissance techniques, utilizing internet-wide scanning to identify vulnerable systems. Such probing efforts were particularly concentrated in regions associated with geopolitical intelligence, including Taiwan and Japan, suggesting a potential nexus between cyber exploitation and state-sponsored activities. As of December 11, over 137,200 internet-exposed IP addresses were confirmed to be running vulnerable code, with a significant concentration in the United States. This alarming statistic highlights the scale of the threat and the urgent need for organizations to implement security measures promptly. In addition to direct exploitation attempts, the vulnerability has also led to a proliferation of proof-of-concept exploits. An analysis revealed more than 140 such exploits, with a significant portion designed to load in-memory web shells or deploy web application firewalls, further complicating the cybersecurity landscape. The implications of this vulnerability have drawn comparisons to the infamous Log4Shell incident, emphasizing the systemic risk posed by such widespread vulnerabilities in widely used technologies. As the situation evolves, organizations are urged to remain vigilant and proactive in addressing this critical threat. The React2Shell vulnerability is having a far-reaching impact across various sectors, raising significant concerns for organizations worldwide. The exploitation of this flaw is particularly alarming for businesses that rely on React Server Components and associated frameworks, such as Next.js and Vite, which are integral to many web applications. As these technologies are widely adopted, the potential for widespread disruption is considerable. Government entities are also in the crosshairs, with reports indicating that national authorities, including those overseeing sensitive materials like uranium and rare metals, have been targeted. This highlights the vulnerability of critical infrastructure to cyber threats, emphasizing the urgent need for enhanced security measures in these sectors. Educational institutions, particularly research organizations, are experiencing heightened risk as well. The exploitation campaigns have selectively targeted academic websites, indicating that threat actors are keen on accessing valuable research data and intellectual property. This not only jeopardizes sensitive information but also undermines the integrity of academic research. Cybersecurity experts have noted a concerning trend in the types of malware being deployed through these attacks. The presence of cryptocurrency miners and sophisticated backdoor tools suggests a dual motive: immediate financial gain and long-term control over compromised systems. This poses a significant threat to organizations' operational capabilities, as attackers can leverage these tools for further exploitation. Moreover, the global nature of the attacks is underscored by the geographic distribution of vulnerable systems. With over 137,200 exposed IP addresses identified, the US leads with the highest number of instances, followed by Germany and France. This international aspect raises alarms about coordinated efforts by cybercriminals, necessitating a collaborative response from nations to mitigate the threat. As the situation evolves, the potential for supply chain attacks looms large. The targeting of enterprise password managers and secure vault services indicates a strategic approach by attackers to compromise security measures at their source, which could have cascading effects across multiple organizations. In light of these developments, the urgency for organizations to implement security patches and bolster their defenses cannot be overstated. The React2Shell vulnerability serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities inherent in modern web frameworks and the critical importance of proactive cybersecurity measures to safeguard against such systemic risks. As the React2Shell vulnerability continues to pose a significant threat, the focus shifts to mitigation efforts and the next steps that organizations must take to safeguard their systems. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, has issued a strong recommendation for federal agencies to prioritize patching the vulnerability by December 12, 2025. This urgency reflects the vulnerability's critical nature, with a CVSS score of 10.0, indicating its potential for severe exploitation. Organizations are urged to not only patch systems but also to conduct thorough audits of their existing applications, especially those utilizing React server components and related frameworks like Next.js and Vite. This proactive approach will help identify any vulnerable instances that could be targeted by cybercriminals. Moreover, firms should consider implementing additional security measures, such as deploying web application firewalls and intrusion detection systems, to provide an extra layer of defense against potential attacks. As the threat landscape evolves, monitoring the activity of threat actors is crucial. Analysts have noted a pattern of reconnaissance efforts that specifically exclude certain geographic regions, suggesting that attackers may have strategic motivations tied to geopolitical interests. This insight emphasizes the need for organizations to remain vigilant and to assess their exposure, particularly if they operate in sensitive sectors such as government, critical infrastructure, or technology. In addition to patching and monitoring, organizations should also engage in information sharing within their industry. Collaborating with cybersecurity firms and participating in threat intelligence networks can provide valuable insights into emerging threats and best practices for defense. By pooling resources and knowledge, entities can enhance their resilience against systemic risks like those posed by React2Shell. As we look ahead, key indicators to monitor include the volume of exploitation attempts and the emergence of new attack vectors. The rapid proliferation of proof-of-concept exploits highlights the necessity for organizations to remain agile in their security strategies. Keeping abreast of updates from CISA and other cybersecurity entities will be essential as the situation develops. In conclusion, the React2Shell vulnerability serves as a stark reminder of the evolving cybersecurity landscape. Organizations must act decisively, not only to patch vulnerabilities but also to reinforce their overall security posture through continuous monitoring, collaboration, and adaptation to new threats. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals.